Why?
All right. Last night I had a dream, and it was an interesting dream, and I'm not really a dream interpreter, so I'm just going to share the dream, and maybe somebody else can figure out what it means. Um, I dreamt that I was getting married. It was my wedding day, and I was super excited. Um, and I was actually getting ready to marry the husband that I currently have. Um, I, I don't really know why we weren't already married, but there had been some sort of issue or trauma in my past, which is why I hadn't married him yet. That's the only thing that I know. And and I was really excited about getting to marry him. Um, and so I was wearing a white dress, and as I was getting ready for the wedding, I wore this dress everywhere. So I wore it in the car, and I was wearing it at the church, and the dress was not a long flowing dress, but it was a very pretty dress, and it was a T-length dress, so it didn't go all the way down to the floor, and and it was modest, but it had like a full skirt, and it was all white, and the church that I was going to get married at was not my church, but I was going to be getting married there, but I was going to get married on a Sunday while church was in session, like they were having church, and I was going to get married there, and I was allowed to invite only a few people because there were already a lot of people at the church, and so I could only invite a few that were already there. And I remember thinking I really would like my mom to come. I'd like my mom to come to my wedding. And so it was kind of last minute, but I called her on the phone, and I told her, I said, I wish that you could come. Do you think you could come? And she said, oh, yes, I'd like to come. Well, my older sister, Kathy, was there with my mom, and I really wanted her to come to the wedding too, but I couldn't invite her. I somehow, in my mind or my heart, I knew that either I wasn't allowed, or for whatever reason, I just couldn't have her come. And then I also wanted to invite my Bible study group. Now, this Bible study group was a group of ladies that I knew 2 years ago when we lived in California, and I still keep in contact with them. And I wanted to invite a few of them, but when I was trying to choose which of them I was going to have come, because I knew already who I wanted to come, as I was letting them know which of them were to come, then I started remembering, oh, but I really want that person there too, and oh, I really want her there too. And then before you know it, I was wishing like everybody that I named was the entire group of my ladies from Bible study, and I really wanted them all to be there. And I think that I was inviting more than I was allowed, but I was still going to ask them all to come from my Bible study group. And also, my two of my children were there, Anna and Jonah, and they were about, right now they're 14 and 15 years old, and they were at the time in my dream about maybe 3 and 4 years old. And Jonah was they're both blind, and Jonah is blind with autism, and generally anytime we're not at home, he wants to be right next to me, wanting me to hold him, all that kind of thing. But in the dream, he was being cooperative. He was still being Jonah, so he was like laying down on the floor, kind of rolling around or whatever, but he was allowing somebody else to take care of him, not me. And Anna was going to somehow be a part of the wedding, or she was maybe going to be, I'm not sure. I don't know if she was going to be a flower girl or anything like that, because from what I remember in the wedding, I wasn't going to have any maids of honor. I wasn't going to have any matrons of honor or anything like that. It was just going to be me and my husband. But Anna was going to play a role in the wedding in some way. I just don't know what way that was. And I was going to take her to go get her nails done. And I left her at the church with some people that I knew, so that I could go to the nail shop and ask them if they could paint her nails. Now, at the nail shop, it was a shop owned by somebody that I know named Daphne. And she had a whole crew of people, and they had just opened their shop. And I went to the shop and I called Daphne on the phone, even though I was at the shop, and she was in the back. And I said, "Hey, I'm really sorry, it's last minute. I'm kind of a last minute person, but would you have time to paint Anna's nails?" And she kind of hesitated, and she goes, and I said, "I'm getting married today at 6 o'clock. And when I was at the nail shop, it was 5:30. And she said, "Oh yeah, we have time for that. We can do that." I said, "Oh, you can do it right now?" And she said, "Sure." So I was in this kind of like a waiting room, and I thought, I need to go back and get Anna. And the church was like within a minute or two away. It was really close. And all I had to do is get her and bring her back so that she could have her nails done. But instead, I opened my phone and was scrolling a little bit through Facebook. And when I was done scrolling, I looked at the clock, and it was 5:55. And I thought, oh, I'd better hurry up. Now I'm really last minute. And then I thought again, there's no way, even if it only takes a minute to go get her and bring her back, there's no way I can get her, have her nails painted, and then get back to the church by 6 o'clock. I'm not going to have time. And so I had to forego Anna getting her nails done. And that's when I woke up.
Oh.
And that's my dream.